Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me for the new moon in Sagittarius. This is happening on November 26, 10:06 a.m. Eastern, but times will vary. Yeah, so it's a new moon in Sagittarius at 4 degrees of Sagittarius. Now, overall energy of Sagittarius is education, higher learning, long distance travel, foreigners and people that you consider foreign or different than you. Bigger picture ideas. So this is what's being initiated, what's being brought forward at this time. Mercury has gone direct by then. Mercury's been in retrograde, which is like the lower octave of its opposition of our mind, our mental thinking. And then this is expanding beyond our mental thinking. This is looking at the bigger picture, the bigger scope of things, our higher consciousness. Yeah, so there's a lot to think about. Jupiter, the Sagittarius energy is and Capricorn energy are so prevalent. You know, we got all Sag, Capricorn. So we're in a transitionary period where we are moving from the Sag energy to the Capricorn energy. Oh, by the way, I forgot to do my little disclaimer. I'm a psychic astrologer, and I also do tarot. You can find out more about all that on my website. But if you are really by the book astrologer, this probably isn't for you, because I definitely incorporate a lot of psychic vibrations into it, and I just kind of tune in and let it flow. If you are a person who's like, man, this looks like too complicated for me, I don't think I can understand it, hang on, because it's going to get more psychic as we go. Okay, back to this part here. We start out with the astrology, and then we keep going deeper afterwards. So yeah, so we're at the end. You can't hardly see this, but it's at 28 degrees of Sagittarius, meaning it's going to go 0, 29, and then 0. Go 0 the first week in December. It's like a week later. Like a week later or so from this chart, Jupiter's going to move from Sagittarius into Capricorn, and the whole vibration, big energy shift is going to occur at that time. So this is almost like the last hurrah of Sagittarius. And Jupiter, its ruling planet, in its own sign for another 12 years. So at the beginning of a sign, near 0, which this is at 4 degrees, and at the end of the sign at near 29, which this is at 28, that's when there's a big emphasis. That's when things are really emphasized, and we really feel the energy the most, coming in and going out. So it's both is happening at this time. So again, the Sagittarius energy is where we want to go with it, how we want to use this vibration. It's coming in at a beautiful time, because there's quite a bit of other stuff going on here. I happen to notice right away that there's a Uranus opposed Mars going on right at this time. And that can be really, really volatile, especially in the fixed signs of Scorpio and, I keep wanting to say Sagittarius, Scorpio and Taurus. This Uranus-Mars can behave really crazy. This could be could be road rage for sure, because Mercury's in there too, pretty close. This could be road rage, or you say something to somebody and then they just freak out and go off on you, Hairpin trigger is what I'm hearing, or whatever, otherwise people just can go off and be crazy. There's a lot of, so we've got that going on. It's right there at the 4 degree mark, 4 degree mark there. Then we also have, down near there, we got Ceres at the 4 degree mark. Venus has moved in 0, 0. So we got a lot of stuff at these low degrees that are all, in the mix, in the pot. And when a planet enters the low degrees, it's just getting acclimated to the energy too. So there's a bit of uncomfortableness. There's a bit of this transitionary period of establishing myself, getting into this new vibe, and making my place here. So that it's what they're showing me is it could be territorial. And so there might be some territorial vibrations going on here. Or like when you get into maybe like a crowded subway car or something, and you're trying to you wiggle your way in there, make a little room to stand even, or to sit down. That's what this feels. To sit down, because everybody wants a seat at the table. That's what they're saying. Well, this is what, 2 days before Thanksgiving? Yikes. So everybody sitting at the table wants their, wants their opinion to be heard, wants their space, wants their everything. And it could get a little, it could get a little bit aggressive, because Mars is aggression, and Uranus can trigger aggression. I've noticed that. Uranus isn't really, that's not really Uranus's vibe necessarily. Uranus is more of higher education and, the community feeling and vibe and all that. But when it gets triggered, like, it can be like somebody can just go off, I don't know if you've seen that. I haven't watched it this year, but that movie, it's Holly Hunter and Robert Downey Jr. and they come home for Thanksgiving, and by the end of it, somebody's got a knife and they're going after the other person. I mean, that's not funny if it would happen in real life, but I mean, that's what they're kind of showing me, It's like, it could be like that. So let's not let's not go there. We don't have to go there. Let's be the Sagittarius. Let's be the voice of reason. Let's be the one to take the high road. Let's be the one to not, the other thing about these, these are like the lower vibrations like that. When you're in these lower vibrations, and then this is breaking free of old patterns. Let's break free of some old patterns. Uranus can aid in that as well. Uranus can definitely aid in breaking free of old patterns. Maybe every Thanksgiving it ends up doing this, or Grandpa says some racist remark, and, this one goes off about this or that, and this would happen when you were 12 years old, you did this, and da-da-da, on and on. Let's break that pattern. Let's say, hey, let's make a different kind of conversation. Let's change, let's forge a new path. Yeah, forge a new path. In everything. It's not just about Thanksgiving, but I think Thanksgiving is kind of a good metaphor with what's just going on in the world and going on with people in general. Fighting over politics, fighting over, this and that, America, immigration, this and that, the environment, blah, blah, blah. Let's forge a new path. We don't have to go round and round in this same old thing anymore. That's definitely the energy of Jupiter, and that's definitely the energy of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is at 28 degrees of, Jupiter is at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. And that's really close to the Galactic Center. We had the Galactic Center conjunction yesterday or the day before, I was recording it. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. But it's still active. It's still viable. And that Galactic Center is such a point of downloads and portal. It's a portal. And it opens up to higher consciousness. It opens up. If you just pause before you just jump on that same old bandwagon, no matter what. It could be at co-workers, could be neighbors, Mercury's neighborhood, siblings. Before you jump on that same old bandwagon and just, sometimes the word, because that's another thing about Sag, sometimes the words just fly out of your mouth before you've even had a chance to really think about it. Before you go there, and before that happens, stop and think, I guess, but really just take a breath. And for those of you who are more spiritually advanced, are on the spiritual path, as I feel like probably most of the people watching this are, get that, get that download. Just don't let your monkey mind or your lizard brain just blurt, go into that same place. Call on your higher power. Call on your higher consciousness, your guardian angel, God, whoever you want to say about it, however you think about it. And because there's a portal, there's a vibration, there's a channel that's open. And find new words, find some new words, find some new thoughts, find some new solutions for different things that's going on. Venus has moved into Capricorn. It's at 0 and it's squaring off with Chiron. Well, it could just be you got to go out and work. You want to get some money. You want to get ahead. You want to pay for holiday gifts and whatnot. But again, Venus is people you love, and Chiron is how they hurt you. This could really bring up some stuff here. And again, the square, and with Aries and Capricorn square in particular, what do you got there? You got a goat and a ram. You've got two horned creatures. And what do horned creatures do? They lock horns. I mean, that's where the expression of locking horns comes in. But, you know, there's quite a few trines going on here. We've got a lot of trines. We've got this Taurus energy. It's trining up all this Capricorn stuff here. So that's some nice vibrations. Got Saturn, Pluto almost there. It's almost there. I don't have it posted yet, but I'm gonna post a reading about that. We're gonna do a. I'll make the announcement, you know, maybe next week or something. I decided I'm gonna do the eclipse for January 10th, the eclipse reading, which will also involve the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. But it's an orb now. We're feeling the rumblings of it. We're feeling and it's interesting in this chart that the part of fortune is with it. 15, 17, 21. So the part of fortune is saying that the Pluto-Saturn thing, yeah, whatever, it's crazy destruction and big changes and all that good stuff, but there's something fortunate about it. Well, you know, with Saturn, it always is. And Pluto, too. It always is. It's always something that needs to happen. You know, Pluto and Saturn don't play around with gossip and little spats and arguments and who didn't do the dishes or this or that, you know. They don't get involved in that stuff. We're dealing with the big picture here, the big stuff. They are, you know, the VIPs or whatever of the zodiac. Definitely Saturn, and well, Pluto too. You know, they're just like, you know what, the everyday goings on, that's for my assistant to handle. I make the big, you know, they're the movers and shakers of the zodiac. So there's some moving and shaking is going to be going on, everybody. You can count on that. Again, I'll be posting that reading if you want to check it out. It'll be maybe next week. I'll put it up. I'll make some kind of announcement or something. But in the meantime, I do have the year ahead reading, so I was going to talk about that later. But let's finish this up. So yeah, there's a big party in Capricorn here, and you know, I am a Capricorn sun. My sun sign is Capricorn, so I'm not talking out of turn here, out of school, when I say that, you know, the downside. Every zodiac sign and every planet has an upside and a downside. And the downside of the Capricorn energy can be a little cold, can be a little callous and cold. And just like, you know what, I worked hard for everything I have, I don't give a crap about you. And that's totally not the case in every Capricorn, and certainly that's not the case with me, or you don't have to bombard me with comments and get offended. But when we're dealing with these energies, we have to, you know, kind of look at that. Dismissive. Can be dismissive. With this vibration, though, the positive traits of the Capricorn is they do work hard for everything they get. They're willing to work hard. They don't expect anything to be handed to them on a silver platter. They're willing to get down and roll up their sleeves and get in and get busy and start working. They do, like, you know, work. They kind of thrive. All the earth signs, but in particular, more Capricorn and Virgo can be kind of workaholics even. There was another point I wanted to make about that. Oh, the Saturn energy. The cool thing about the Saturn energy is, which rules the whole thing. That's why I'm bringing up Saturn, if you're not familiar. Capricorn. Saturn, Capricorn, 10th house, all the same energy. The cool thing about the Saturn energy, ruler of Capricorn, is it gives you a solid foundation. I always go back to one of my earliest teachers told me, Saturn rules the bones in your body. And if you didn't have the bones in your body, you'd be a lump of flesh on the ground. You need the bones in your body. You need the bones. They're the building blocks, they're the foundations. You need Capricorn energy if you're going to do anything in this 3D reality. So, it's important. It's important vibration. There's a cleansing going on with the South Node, too, and there's a cleansing going on of all that harsh stuff of the Capricorn vibration. This is also going to be changing signs here real soon, too. I have that all written out for my year ahead's readings, and all the big changes in astrology all written out for everybody. When's those nodes going to jump ship? They're going to jump ship in April here. We're going to have oh no, excuse me, I'm totally wrong. May of 2020. It's all going to change. The whole vibration is going to change. So just like I said in the very beginning, when is the influence the most powerful? In the beginning and in the end. The nodes are, if you're not familiar, it's like, well, it's at 8 degrees. That's low. The nodes always move backwards. Everything else moves this way, and the nodes move this way. I guess these. Oh shit! I hate when they don't come out. You have to sneeze, and then it doesn't happen. Oh, I'll swallow that sneeze. So this is going to change signs again. So it's getting into that last little bit of push too. And here's little Cancer down here all by itself. This is the direction we're meant to go in, of the the North Node. Okay, let me just run by because I know there's a ton of stuff going on here. So the Mercury's trying the Neptune. Okay, let's look at that. Yeah, there's this opposition here. We got this Neptune. That can go two ways too. Like the Neptune energy, swimming upstream is very creative, very spiritual. You could tune into this if you're of the right mindset, and if you're going it not right or wrong, but in the upward or positive. If you harness this energy in the right, I'm just going to say the right way. You can say it's wrong, I don't care, but how this can be used for positive. Creativity, flow, turning into that higher thing. If you're a singer or a writer or a performer, you could just so be in the zone and just in the flow. That's the Pisces, which is Neptune, of course. Neptune, Pisces energy, and it's in its own sign also. This is this transcending reality. You can really get in there and just really get on that wave. The other side of it is it could be all convoluted. The downward side of it is convolution, misunderstandings. Misunderstandings, for sure. And it could be like, because you can get really depressed. The negative expression of Pisces Neptune energy can be really down in the dumps, really depressed, really sad by something somebody said that may have been stinging. It could be the Scorpio vibe, like you felt really stung by it, like you get stung by that Scorpio energy. So we don't want to go there. We want to use this energy wisely. We want to be inspired. This is inspiration. And with this portal of the Galactic Center being open, because a lot of times, I've probably said this before, but you get this Neptune energy, like it's people when you get a reading, for instance, you get a reading, and people says, well, what was their first, last, and name, and where's their birthmark on, it doesn't work like that. It's feelings. It's subtle. It's colors. It's imagery. It's sounds. It's and then you, us, me, everybody, as a human, we have to bring it into the mental mind and interpret it and make it, try to make sense of it. Try to verbalize it. Try to say what we're getting. It's not always so. It's not the 3D reality, but it's also something that everybody has access to for a lot of ways. You could really. This is conducive for you being able to express it more eloquently, being able to put it into words, feelings and emotions of all sorts. Doesn't have to be psychic stuff. Maybe it's just like, man, somebody. Your personal relationship, something that's been on your mind. You're trying to, maybe you're having the same old argument, or you're going around and around with the same old stuff, and it's just like, and they're not hearing you. You might be able to put it in a way where they could really hear you and really feel you and really understand you. That Thanksgiving dinner thing is a great microcosm, and. For anybody who doesn't have anybody for the holiday, I want to reach out to you and send you a little love. I've been there. I know how it goes. I know how it feels, and it doesn't feel good at all. I'll tell you that. But you can get through it. You can get through it. Watch a good movie even. If it's just go to the movies. Neptune's movies. Film. Go see a film. Stay home, Netflix and chill. Whatever. Yeah, but it's a big time of shifting energy. Jupiter's getting ready to change signs. The nodes are going to get ready to change signs. Pluto, by definition, is change, death and rebirth. And Saturn's coming up, and it's a turbulent time. It's a very turbulent time between now and like the end of January into February. It's a big turbulent time for everybody. So let's try to make the best of it. Let's try to take a high road. Let's not fall into old patterns. Let's forge that new path. Do that new thing. Try a different route. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You have the same old argument, and then you're going to feel like shit and wonder why, So let's do this Jupiter thing. With the Jupiter thing and the Mercury thing too, if you can't just pull that down, and if you just can't see another way, get a book. Watch a video on it. If it's family dysfunction or whatever, how to heal your relationship, or get a book. This is knowledge and learning. Take a class, take an anger management class or something. But try to learn, try to forge new neuro pathways, neuroconnectors in your brain, and get your brain working in a different way. We are spirits in the material world, to quote the police thing. We are driving this car here. We should be. But sometimes, we just react. We get in this reactionary mode, and again, it doesn't have to be family. It could be just anybody. Let's not go there. Let's not fly off the handle. Let's not keep doing this. If it's making you miserable, if it's driving you crazy, if it's making you sad, if it's making you mad, then just stop doing it. I mean, I know it's easier said than done. And other people that know how to press your buttons want to keep pressing those buttons, don't they? So sometimes it can be hard. But if you keep doing it, and keep doing it, and keep doing it, then it will become second nature. And we're always expanding and growing, Who says when you turn 18 or 22 when you graduate at school or college, it's like, okay, this is who I am. I don't have to learn anymore. What kind of attitude is that? Jupiter, Sagittarius, vibration, it's all about learning. It's all about continuous growth and expansion. It doesn't have to be book knowledge or school, but it could just be, not becoming stagnant. And if you don't want to do it on your own, when Pluto and Saturn and these guys come along, Chiron, they're going to be like, guess what? You can do it the easy way or the hard way, as they say. All right, everybody. I am still offering the year ahead readings. That'll be available till the end of December. I'll make the announcement later in December about this Saturn. I got to think about this a little more and put it together in my brain a little bit more before I'm ready to break it out. But I was thinking, I usually do the astrology charts for the winter solstice, all the ingress charts, the solstices and the equinoxes. And I thought, well, I don't usually do the winter one because I'm always doing these year ahead readings, which are really cool. I do look at some astrology, and I do touch upon this Saturn Pluto for you, and I do some astrology and some cards and stuff like that. So that'll be available till the end of December. But I was going to, occasionally I'll throw in an eclipse reading, and I think this one in January is going to be a doozy, because it's going to involve the Saturn and Pluto. So I'll be announcing that soon. But in the meantime, if you want to get the year ahead, that's always really appreciated. I appreciate everything you guys do by liking, sharing, commenting, donating. It's all subscribing. If you want to subscribe, it's down there. So it all goes into keeping these videos free on YouTube year after year, month after month. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great new moon in Sag and a great holiday for those that do celebrate. And I'll speak to you soon.